Hey everyone, Tony George, DocSports.com. Thursday update, a couple of college basketball discussions and an NBA discussion as well. Kind of a threefer. We kind of did that yesterday for you and made you some money for free. We didn't make any money in college basketball yesterday, that's for sure. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm in a little bit of a foul mood today, to say the least. But that's the price of being transparent. Yeah. Some good news, but bad news as well mixed in on our Wednesday cards. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about today. First of all, in the NBA, we have a 6-unit top play today in the NBA, but this is a total that I really liked. And whenever I have a 6 or 7-unit play in the NBA, I rarely stick another pick with it. I'm concentrated on one game that's a mismatch that's going to be a blowout. And I don't want to mix anything else with it because on any given night in the NBA, just like college basketball right now, it's a veritable potpourri of what the hell was that. So nonetheless, I did like the under 225 in the Orlando and Utah game. Orlando plays some of the best shutdown defense half-court sets of anybody in the NBA. They're the fourth best team in the NBA in defense, and a lot of the reasons they cover a lot of spreads is they're number one in the NBA in fourth quarter defense and fourth quarter points allowed. I think they're allowing 29 in the fourth quarter, which is almost unheard of in today's NBA. It's a good basketball team. They're a good, fundamentally sound basketball team. We opened up the second half of the NBA season with them catching like 7 or something like that. Ridiculous number. I think it was at Cleveland. They won outright. Good team. That Banchero can ball. He Wagner too. They're ballers. You know, they need some complementary pieces to be a major contender, but in Utah just a mess right now, especially offensively. You know, they managed 97 points against Atlanta's defense. Atlanta's the second worst team defensively. They allow like 123 a game. And Orlando just held their last opponent, which was the Nets, to 81 points. Tim Fines, my small conference guru that helps me with my college basketball. I've mentioned him many times on these videos. I've done some videos with Tim. He also does my WNBA, which has been, by the way, 60% or better each of the last 2 seasons, full seasons, including postseason. Don't like WNBA? I don't care. You like money? You know how hard it is to win 60% in any season-long sport anymore? You know, it's to do it back-to-back years. Hello. We'll be ready this year, too. First half line. Just one Tim had circled. We gave you one yesterday on the money line. That was an easy winner for you. UMass Lowell, first half line, -3 over Bryant. He said get on it. There you go. And let's talk about the game here in the Big Ten tonight. My alma mater, my beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers, are on the road at Ohio State, which is usually death to Smoochie when it comes to Nebraska. Nebraska's playing about as good a basketball right now as anybody in the Big Ten. Never thought I'd say that. Being a Husker fan, our basketball program just sucks hind tit most of the time. I mean, occasionally but this year, they got themselves a very good basketball team. One that can compete with the boys. They've knocked off Purdue when they were number 1. They beat Michigan State. They beat Wisconsin. You know, they knocked off Kansas State on the road by double digits. Their last 4 wins have been by double digits. Fred Hoiberg has Nebraska peaking at the right time. And their big Achilles heel, the 600-pound gorilla on their back, has been the way that they have played on the road, which has stunk. But they got a little bit of that onus off of them their last game, catching 2 points at Indiana, put up 85 and won by 15. They're catching 3.5 here at Ohio State. Ohio State is a team, and we talked about this reverse line flip on South Carolina last night. Favored at home, big win, than go on the road catching a bunch of points. What they do, they won outright. Your free play last night. Nebraska. Head-to-head. Back on January 23rd, beat this team by 14 points, laying 4, and now they're catching 3.5. A 7.5-point line flip for a much better team. Ohio State, not a whole lot to brag about. They're 3-7 straight up their last 10 games. However, they own a win over Michigan State, 60-57 on the weekend. And I don't know what's wrong with Michigan State. Apparently, we talked about it with Kansas as a free play the other night. Coaches like Tom Izzo and Bill Self, this is a time of year, and John Calipari's another one, who do their best job coaching because they're getting their teams ready for March Madness. They're getting their teams, usually in Kansas's case, who lost to BYU. I still can't get over that one. But not covering a number, not hugely surprising, losing outright at Fog Allen, an issue, especially this time of year. You know, maybe in late December, early January, you have a faux pas. You get beat by somebody that you're twice as good as, you know. But to lose this time of year, and Izzo, this is when he shines. And his team is just, Michigan State is in, you know, they're on the bubble, which is surprising because they have talent. But that's what's got this line up there. I think that's a one-off for Ohio State. You have two teams here going in complete opposite directions. A win here, I think, would assure Nebraska an NCAA tournament bid. Really do. I think they're right there anyway, but we win a couple games in the Big Ten tournament for sure. But this win here, I think this is a huge game for Nebraska. Huge game. I think they'll be ready. I think they're the better team. I think winning by 15 points at Indiana. You know, is Ohio State better than Indiana? Yeah. They're a little better than Indiana. Are they 15 points better than Indiana? I don't think so. But that being said, I just like Nebraska plus the points tonight. Over at the website, we have a 6-unit top play in the NBA as blowout game of the week. That's the hype. In college basketball, we sucked last night. I'm not in a good mood. We went 0-3, including getting 7 with Auburn at Tennessee. And they just completely pissed down their leg in the last 7 minutes of that game. Ridiculous. I can't play the game for them. Can't coach it for them. The one thing I did notice about that Auburn team, they don't have a lot of movement on offense. They rely on one or two guys. They don't spread it around. And if you don't spread it around against Tennessee, because Tennessee's got a couple of studs, in spite of the fact that Rick Barnes is a horrific coach, I mean, he's one of the worst big game coaches in the history of the league, in the history of college basketball. But he's got so much talent on his team, they'll win by attrition. And Auburn had no answer for him defensively in the second half. So, nonetheless, and I made a bad call on Southern Illinois catching a big number against Bradley. Southern Illinois been playing pretty good. Beat Indiana State, the leader in the Mo Valley. So we just had a bad night. You know, I tell it like it is. It sucks to be transparent. But you know what? If we go 3-0, we're going to brag a little bit. If we go 0-3, we're going to fess up. Well, I'm going to flip the switch tonight. We're going to go 3-0. We're going to get it done. We're not going to have this going into March Madness. We're catching some fire. 6-unit NBA player prop last night, cashed out. By a half. We had Halliburton for Indiana at over 29.5 points and assists. He had 30. And the fact that he had 13 assists saved our butt. Because he only had 17 points. This guy averages close to 30. He's had an off, that's 3 off nights scoring for him. I mean, but we got it in. It's all that matters. 11-4 run, 4-unit NBA player prop tonight. Go get it. Win money. They're $25. 2 people going through Arby's drive-thru you can't get out of there for $25. You know, enjoy it. It's in the Milwaukee-Charlotte game tonight. 3-unit NHL play, back-to-back winners in the NHL. Let's make it the trifecta. Let's get it done in the NHL. Doc Sports, free $60 place to be. Click that link in the description below, or in the upper left-hand corner of the website, there's a tab that says free 60. Hassle-free, park it in your account. Come on.